So we've been out filming all day. I gotta be honest, I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I'm nasty, and I'm really looking forward to a nice bottle of cold water in a hotel room with some air conditioning. It is painful in some ways to be out here. And that's the truth of deserts, isn't it? I mean, we're in this desert, and some of you, you're in a desert. You're in a dry space right now, and I don't know what it is. It could be relationally, spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally. I mean, there's so many different deserts that we have in our lives. But for some of you, I want to invite you to look at it maybe a little differently. For some of you, there is this desert and there's no rhyme or reason. It's no one's fault. There's nothing to be taught or learned. It's just part of being in a broken world, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that is not what I'm speaking to. What I want to speak to are the people that are walking through a desert, and maybe God's trying to teach you something. Maybe the desert isn't a problem, but it's a process. Maybe instead of trying to get out of it, you need to shift how you're walking through it and allow God to speak and change you through it. See, if you read in the Old Testament, the moment that the Israelites were saved from captivity, He did not take them from the land of captivity, Egypt, to the promised land. No, He had them walk through a desert because they were a people without a culture, without traditions, without laws, without anything. And they were having to relearn everything. And when we become Christians, I think the same thing happens, the same process happens, that God takes us through these deserts. But for some, and again, I can't stress this enough, not all, some of you, you're walking through something terrible and it has nothing to do with you. But for some of you though, you've turned a few-day desert, much like the Israelites, into a 40-year journey. See, the Israelites didn't trust in God, they didn't learn what they were supposed to, and they got to the edge and the ledge of the promised land and messed it up. So God kept them there for 40 years. And some of you, that's where you're at, that God is waiting for you to trust Him. He's waiting for you to see what you're walking through as a process, not a problem. And when you quit fighting to get out of it and you start to lean into it, you start to grow into it, you start to learn from it, that's when God's going to lead you into this next phase of your life. And so this week, would you be open, would you be willing to maybe ask the question of the desert you're in? God, is there something I need to get out of this? Still holding on to the prayer, God, change it. God, help me get through this. Again, I'm not asking you to give up that prayer. I'm asking you to invite Him to change you, to mold you in the middle of it, because who we become in life is directly related to what we do. And we are called to learn and grow from every situation, both good and bad. So this week, invite the God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the creator of the deserts, to speak to you, to help you grow through the deserts.